So I lead a team that works with the cotton industry to try and stop the cotton bollworm from developing resistance to Bt cotton, and to develop guidelines for controlling secondary pests using integrated pest management. And I'm also involved in a project that develops education capacity in agriculture with a focus on cotton. So the resistance management plan is specifically designed to try and slow resistance in Halagurga for as long as possible. We know that it's really good at developing resistance, and if we don't have a plan in place, then it will develop resistance very rapidly to anything we use to try and control it. So CSD contribute to the Cotton Info team, which is an extension team that basically take the results from our work and make them understandable by cotton growers. I guess for me, being a finalist in the Research of the Year is a sign that I'm doing important work for the industry, and that's exactly what I set out to do.
Yep, look, for the last 10 years, Steve Yates and myself have really focused, I guess, on getting the most out of a cotton plant in fairly different environments. So thinking about how a plant grows and then how it's interacting with the surrounding climate and basically getting the best out of that plant, regardless of whatever those circumstances are. Yes, look, the practical application of that thinking, if we take emerald for example, was looking at their environment, and what we identified was that spring was the best time for boll setting. We're able to define that you could plant the crop much earlier, so planting it in August, do the best of that boll filling during spring, and then get the crop picked in early summer before those monsoonal influences. And the result of that has been growers have been able to lift their yields by 3 to 4 bales per hectare, and they're getting a lot less interference from rainfall affecting the crop during picking. CSD as a company is really unique in the cotton industry in that it's a not-for-profit company, and it's directed and organised by growers. And clearly, CSD have worked very closely with Steve and I over the last 10 years in Northern Australia and more recently in Emerald, looking at some of the work that we've been doing and how to, I guess, work with growers in implementing some of those things on farm. And it's just really great to have a company that does work hand in hand with the researchers and support the work that they do.
I've been at Narrabri working with cotton for 29 years, so I've covered a huge number of areas, but my primary research more recently is developing weed control thresholds for cotton, which is a multi-species threshold that I'm trying to achieve, which is pretty unique. Now, the weed control threshold is an important part of the sensing robotics story. The future for me that I see in weeds in cotton is a future that will have a large emphasis on robotics and remote sensing. Weed science in Australian cotton took a whole leap in 2002 when we produced WeedPack. Now, since 2002 I've increased WeedPack about 5-fold in size, primarily bringing in the weed control threshold work and the herbicide damage work. Even things like weed identification. WeedPack originally had 32 weeds, it's now got 200 weeds in it. So that work is pivotal to the industry. One of the things about working in the cotton industry is that it is both a great industry to work for because the growers are so innovative and interested in what's going on. But it's also a great industry because they appreciate the work that's done. So to me, being nominated as a finalist is just, again, a thank you from the industry.